Shalom, my friends. Today we are going to expose a secret that has been hiding in plain sight for 3,000 years. I am going to reveal the hidden law of money that the rich and the wealthy understand, but that they will never, ever tell you. This is not about stocks, real estate, or cryptocurrency. This is a spiritual law, a law of the universe as real as gravity, that dictates whether money flows to you or away from you. By the end of this video, you will possess the key to unlocking a river of wealth into your life, a key that has been used by the spiritual billionaires of history, from King Solomon to the present day. But before I reveal this law, I want you to take a moment and answer a very important question in the comments below. What is your biggest financial fear? Is it the fear of not having enough? The fear of losing what you have? Or the fear of never achieving your dreams? Be honest. Naming your fear is the first step to conquering it. Now, listen to me. We are building something special here. A community of 50,000 spiritual warriors who are ready to break the chains of the poverty mindset and reclaim the abundant life that God intended for us. If you feel that call, if you know you are meant for more than just scraping by, then join us. Hit that subscribe button right now. It is a declaration that you are ready to receive this wisdom. And for those who are truly serious, who want to go to the next level and access the strategies I only share with my inner circle, I invite you to become a channel member. This is where the real transformation happens. Click the join button and let's begin. All right, let's pull back the curtain. The world has sold you a lie about how to build wealth. The lie is this: earn as much as you can, save as much as you can, and hold on to it as tightly as you can. The world teaches you to build a dam, to create a reservoir of money. But what happens to water that doesn't move? It becomes stagnant. It grows algae, it stinks, and eventually it evaporates. The rich don't build reservoirs, they build rivers. They understand that money is not a thing to be hoarded, it is an energy to be circulated. The hidden law of money is the law of circulation. And today, you will learn how to become a river, not a reservoir. I remember when I was trapped in the reservoir mindset. I was already a millionaire, but I was terrified of losing it. I had come from humble beginnings, and the fear of returning to poverty was a constant shadow in my life. I would check my bank account obsessively. I would agonize over every expense. I would hoard my money, investing it only in the safest things, which gave me minimal returns. My wealth was stagnant. It wasn't growing, and neither was I. I was rich, but I was not wealthy. I was a prisoner in a golden cage of my own making. I was praying for more, but my hands were clenched so tightly around what I already had that I couldn't receive anything new. The common enemy we are all fighting is the spirit of poverty, and its greatest disguise is the virtue of saving. The world praises the saver, the frugal one, the person who denies themselves everything to build a nest egg. But this is a trap. The hidden mechanism is that the universe mirrors your mindset. When you hoard, you are sending a powerful message to God and to the universe. You are saying, "I don't trust you. I don't believe there is more where this came from. This is all I have, and I must protect it." And the universe, which is a perfect mirror, responds by saying, "You are right, there is no more." You choke off the flow. The cost of inaction, the cost of hoarding, is not just that your wealth stagnates, it is that your soul stagnates. You become small, fearful, and anxious. You live in a constant state of low-grade panic. You are so focused on not losing that you forget how to win. Now, let me show you where this law is written, not in some modern finance book, but in the eternal wisdom of the Torah. In the book of Proverbs, King Solomon, the wealthiest man who ever lived, wrote these words: "One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty." Proverbs 11:24. Read that again. It is the most counterintuitive financial advice in the world. The one who gives gains. The one who withholds loses. This is not a metaphor. This is physics. This is a spiritual law as immutable as the law of gravity. What you give, you gain. What you withhold, you lose. Why? Because giving opens the channel. When you give, you are creating a vacuum. You are telling the universe, "I am a river, not a reservoir. I have so much faith in the source of all abundance that I can release what I have, knowing that more is on its way." And the universe, which abhors a vacuum, rushes to fill the space you have created, often with more than what you gave. The Torah institutionalizes this with the law of Ma'aseh, the tithe, the commandment to give 10% of our income. The world sees this as a tax, a religious obligation. But the sages of the Talmud understood it as a spiritual technology. They called it a fence for riches. It is not a way to lose money, it is a way to protect and grow your money. In the book of Malachi, God says something he says nowhere else in the entire Bible. He says, "Test me in this, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." Malachi 3:10. God is saying, "I dare you. Test me on this one law, the law of circulation, and watch what happens." I was living in direct violation of this law. I was withholding unduly. I was giving, but I was giving the leftovers, the scraps, not the first and the best. My giving was an afterthought, not a priority. My epiphany came when I was studying that verse from Malachi, "Test me in this." It was a direct challenge. I realized that my fear of giving was the very thing that was keeping me stuck. My clenched fist was a symbol of my lack of faith. I was praying for God to open the floodgates of heaven, while I had sealed the floodgates of my own heart. That day, I made the most terrifying financial decision of my life. I calculated 10% of my entire net worth at the time. It was a staggering number. My accountant thought I was having a nervous breakdown. My wife was speechless. But I knew I had to do it. I had to prove to God and to myself that I was a river, not a reservoir. I didn't just give it to one place. I strategically invested it in causes that I believed were changing the world, in people who were doing holy work. It felt like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. But the moment the final wire transfer went through, something shifted. The fear didn't just disappear. It was replaced by an exhilarating sense of freedom. I had let go. I had finally opened my hand. And then the floodgates open. Within 3 months, an investment I had written off as a complete loss suddenly turned around and paid out a return of 20 times my initial investment. A new business idea came to me with such clarity and force that I knew it was a divine gift. I launched it, and within a year it was generating more revenue than all my other businesses combined. My net worth didn't just recover, it quadrupled. I had tested God, and he had answered. I had learned the hidden law. The more you circulate, the more you accumulate. Now, let me give you the practical 3-step process to apply this in your own life. I call it the river method. Step 1. Automate the first fruits. You must decide right now that the first portion of every dollar that comes into your life is not yours. It belongs to the river. The traditional amount is 10%, ma'aser. But you can start with whatever amount represents a real, tangible act of faith for you. The key is that it must be the first fruits, not the leftovers. Before you pay your bills, before you buy your groceries, before you treat yourself, you allocate this portion. The best way to do this is to automate it. Set up an automatic transfer from your main account to a separate account that is designated solely for giving. Call it your river account. This act of paying God and the universe first, before you pay yourself, rewires your brain for abundance. It is a weekly or monthly declaration of faith. Step 2. Give with joy and intention. The second step is to circulate the money in your river account. Do not let it sit there for long. The goal is to keep the energy moving, and you must give with joy. If you give with resentment, you negate the entire process. Find causes and people that you are passionate about supporting. When you give, do it with a specific intention. Say, I am releasing this money as an investment in a better world, and I am opening myself to receive a multiplied return from the universe. This is not a donation. It is a spiritual investment. You are not losing money. You are deploying it. Step 3. Track the return. This is the step that most people miss. You must start tracking the miracles. Get a notebook and call it your book of blessings. Every time you give, write it down. And then, watch. Be hyper-aware of the unexpected blessings that flow back into your life. It might be a direct financial return, an unexpected check, a new client, a promotion. But it might also be an indirect return, a new idea, a valuable connection, a solution to a problem, a surge of health and energy. When these things happen, write them down next to the record of your giving. This will build your faith muscle. It will prove to you in black and white that the law of circulation is real. You will see with your own eyes that for every dollar you release, $10 of blessings flow back in. Now for the advanced application. If you are in debt or struggling financially, the idea of giving away 10% can seem impossible. In this case, you start with what the Talmud calls a good eye. You start by giving your time, your expertise, your positive words. But you must also give some money, even if it is a ridiculously small amount. Give $1. Give 1%. The amount is not as important as the act. The act of giving, even a small amount when you feel you have nothing, is a powerful statement of faith that breaks the back of the poverty mindset. The level 2 hack is to understand that this law applies not just to money, but to everything. Your knowledge, your time, your love, your network. The more you hoard, the more you stagnate. The more you circulate, the more you accumulate. Are you hoarding your knowledge? Start teaching it. Are you hoarding your connections? Start introducing people. Are you hoarding your love? Start giving it away freely. You will find that the more you give of yourself, the more you will have of yourself. You will become a nexus of value, a human river through which the blessings of heaven flow into the world. So, here is my 21-day challenge to you. For the next 21 days, you will live by the law of circulation. You will become a river. Here are your 3 immediate, non-negotiable actions. 1. Open your river account. Tonight, open a new, separate bank account. It can be a simple online savings account. Name it My River. This is the first step in creating the structure for abundance. 2. Schedule your first transfer. Right now, schedule an automatic transfer of a specific percentage of your next paycheck into your river account. Make it an amount that feels both significant and a little scary. That fear is a sign that you are doing it right. 3. Identify your first gift. Research and identify the first person or organization you will give to from your river account. Don't just pick a random charity. Find one that makes your heart sing. This will fuel your giving with joy. Remember the promise. You are here to learn the hidden law of money. The law is simple. Reservoirs stagnate, rivers grow. The rich know this. They may not call it ma'aser or the law of circulation, but they practice it. They are constantly giving, investing, circulating. They are rivers. And now you can be one too. As King Solomon said, one person gives freely, yet gains even more. This is your moment to test that promise. Shalom, and may you be blessed with the courage to open your hand, the faith to become a river, and the joy of watching the floodgates of heaven open in your life. Shalom.